Christmas Day. Okay, welcome. Good morning. For those of you who are watching, this is the Foca Online TV, and today is a very special edition of the program Inside the Print Media, where we will be definitely giving you updates surrounding our country, Liberia. So for today, just to acquaint you, we have two newspapers in our possession. We have the front page African newspaper, and we have the Daily Observer newspaper because we are actually in the festive season. A lot of the news agencies have gone to actually observe the festive season. So Merry Christmas to all of you who are following and who are celebrating, and even those of you who don't have to celebrate, we wish you a Merry Christmas. This is what the management of Foca Online TV wants to tell you. Of Merry Christmas and a prosperous new year of 2024. So we have few days inching towards the climax of this year 2023. It has actually been a very tough year. It has actually been to some people. It has been a tough year to a lot of people. Some people, it has been one of the most enjoyable years. Some people, this year 2023 is actually a sad year for them. To some people, this year 2023 is actually one of the year to actually remember, especially Liberian, because this is the year in which we conducted our elections. So this year, 2023, is actually a year to remember to a lot of Liberians who, who understand and follow very closely the political trend that has been happening here. So we want to state on this particular video that we do not own copyright to a couple of Christmas carol songs that will be played while we are conducting this broadcast. All right, for those of you who are watching this program, please share our live video and just leave your comments in the comment section. Merry Christmas to all of you who are watching, all of our esteemed followers who have been there for us, who end up. It is because of you we are actually here. Our obligation is to always inform you about everything that happened in Liberia, and there are lots of things happening in our country. There is this mongering, there is this argument about people about the Christmas being tough, but actually the birth of Jesus Christ is a day to actually remember, owing to the fact that in as much as you are a Christian, in as much as you are a follower of Christ, it is a matter of fact that you must be very excited about his birth, even though this is not actually the right day that Jesus Christ was born, owing to the fact that those wise men who went to actually observe the birth of Jesus Christ, they actually went there with a very sinister motive. So God, through His miraculous power, was able to confuse them. So a lot of the people, as far as my research I have conducted over the period of time, has revealed that this is the December 25th is the day Christians from all around the world have decided to say this is the day in which we will definitely honor that this is the day in which our Lord and Christ Jesus was born. You understand? This is the day a lot of people who are worshippers of Christ, who are followers of Christ, whether you are from a different denomination, but once you believe in Jesus Christ, this is the day that you believe. This is the day you hold in high esteem that Jesus was actually born. So this is actually a global. This is actually a global holiday that is observed all around the world. So for those of you who are watching, we want to say Merry Christmas to all of you. Merry Christmas to all of you. Keep safe, especially the children when you are a parent. What I think is mostly important is that even though the children, you would argue that the children need to actually enjoy themselves to celebrate, but it is also important that the cognizance of the precautionary tips, because on this particular day there are lots of terrible things, there are lots of amazing things that also happen. You understand? So you have to be very concerned about all of those things. You have to be very concerned about all of those things. So as I said earlier, we have two different newspapers, and today happens to be a very special edition of the program inside the print media. As a matter of fact, we are going to spend much time here, but we want to firstly register our apology for coming up very late because we had some sticky issues in the background that we needed to resolve prior to being aired on prior to airing the program inside the print media. So for those of you who are watching this program, keep sharing the live video, keep sharing the live video, keep sharing the live video. Christmas is actually a day to actually give. You have to commit yourself to giving, give to the people who are in need. It is a moment where we need to actually share, because in as much as you are celebrating the bride of Jesus Christ, it is incumbent upon you as a lover of Christ, as worshiper of Christ, and to believe in the Christianity doctrine. It is important that you too can share with people who do not have. You too can share in order for us to make this day or this unique celebration a very, very colorful celebration. So today, as I said earlier, we have a lot of newspaper. We have two different newspaper in our possession. We have the Daily Observer newspaper, and I will give you the headlines. Liberia Revenue Authority Commissioner General is dead. That news was actually a, a heartbroken news, a heartbreaking news. Liberia Revenue Authority Commissioner General is dead. That is Thomas Doe 9. Thomas Doe 9. He is dead. It has been announced by top family sources, you know. So that is a. Let's go over to another headline. Uh, Senator Yombly Kanga Lawrence, the woman who helped Waka win. Senator Yombly Kanga Lawrence, the woman who helped Waka win. Senator Yombly Kanga Lawrence, the woman who helped Waka, has won the race for the pro tempore position. She has actually won the race for the pro tempore position. Keep sharing the live video. Keep sharing. We're just giving you a summary of Yombly Kanga Lawrence has been very helpful all throughout the political process, starting from the campaign stage of the elections moving forward. She has been helpful to President-elect Joseph Yoman Boakai, and they have a very good relationship now. They have a very good relationship. She was one of those who was vigorously canvassing during the course of the election or during the course of the campaign to ensure that Joseph Yoman Boakai can definitely win the the presidential elections. So thankfully, Joseph Yoman Boakai, based upon the result that were announced by the National Elections Commission, Joseph Yoman Boakai actually won the elections 50.64 percent. 50.64%. Based upon what the Constitution says, is that in order for you to win the presidential elections of Liberia, uh, you must acquire, you must obtain 50 plus one vote. So during the first round of the election, all of the 20 candidates who were actually vying for the presidential elections didn't acquire the requirement as per what the Constitution says. So uh, runoff was declared open. And runoff was declared open by the incumbent president George Weah and that of Joseph Newman Boakai of the Unity Party and other opposition alliance who work together to ensure that they can definitely rescue Liberia, because they were actually campaigning on a slogan that they were actually in this particular business or this political business to rescue Liberia. So, sh- Daily Observer newspaper is actually reporting that she has warned. So we will definitely give you what, the details surrounding what she has actually won. It is that she has won the race for the pro-10 proposition, because that was what we heard. That was what we heard over the period of time. Or it is that she has won a particular category, you know, a particular award category. So we'll definitely give you that particular development from the Daily Observer newspaper. And let's go over to Front Page Africa newspaper. Let's go over to the Front Page Africa newspaper. Lots of new developments here coming up. President Weah names State of the Expo Park Recreation Park. President Weah names State of the Art Sports and Recreation Park Liberia Unification Park. So, a few months ago, they have been constructing. There has been a lot of work being done at the PSU's park. So we have been told that the park was dedicated. The park was dedicated for public use now. So a lot of people, I see a lot of people on Facebook taking pictures from the park, and so he actually named the park Liberia Unification Park. He actually named the park Liberia Unification Park. Liberia Unification Park. I know today is Christmas. We will definitely talk a lot about Christmas, but it is important that we also talk about some of the issues, some of the trending issues in our country, Liberia, because after the Christmas celebrations, after the Christmas fever, we will definitely talk about these things. So we will definitely talk. We shouldn't stop talking. Merry Christmas to all of you. Christmas is about giving. Christmas is about sharing. Christmas is about helping. Christmas is about giving assistance to those who are actually in need. When you have the potential and you have the capacity to help somebody who is struggling, someone in the community who is actually struggling, please do it. And definitely you will be remembered. So for those of you who are watching, please share the live feed and insert your comment and keep following the program as we keep you updated. So, President Weah named State of the Art Sport and Recreation Park Liberia Unification Park. So that is what Front Page Africa is reporting. So let's go over to another headline on the Front Page Africa newspaper. President of Liberia expresses dismay over Supreme Court ruling that says it respects the court's decision. Press Union of Liberia expresses dismay. They are expressing disappointment over Supreme Court ruling, but says it respects the court decision. So that is what the Front Page Africa is reporting. Let's go for the last headlines on the Front Page Africa newspaper. What does it say? We are hoping as hunger looms, bombing prison superintendent writes prominent citizens for support, says no supply from headquarters for 5 months. That is just what we told you. There are lots of people. The Christmas is very, very distasteful to them. You can help them, and you will definitely be remembered. You will definitely be rewarded. You will definitely be recounted for the contributions you will make towards them. Actually, this is the date that is widely believed to be the date in which our Lord Jesus Christ was actually born. So it is equally important that all celebrants of this particular day should be very magnanimous, should be very assistive, as helpful to each other. If you can afford to even give a person a cup of rice, please do it. Please do it. This day is a day that we all need to definitely celebrate. We all need to definitely celebrate this. So think about those who are in the prison. Think about those who are lying in the hospital. Think about those who do not have. Think about those who, in the communities, they do not have the capacity to actually afford. Think about those youth at risk. It is about time that you need to identify with them. It is about time that you need to actually help them. It is about time that you need identify with them. It is about time that you can conscientize them. You can counsel them from their problems. It is about time to give. It is about time to do things that you have not done before. We need to actually share. You understand? We actually need to share. This is the the day in which Jesus Christ was born. So because of that, we actually need to share. We need to be committed towards promoting the gospel. The promotion of the gospel is not it is not only limited to you going and preaching the good news, saying the Lord said, but you can do that by by demonstrating kindness to other people. You can definitely do that by helping other people. You can definitely do that by counseling other people. You can think about those who are lying in the hospitals. And perhaps you can just make a stop at the hospital and ask who cannot afford to definitely shoulder their medical bill, and you can be of help. So this Christmas is actually a tough Christmas. This Christmas is actually a tough Christmas. Parents are squeezing water out of rock. Parents are actually squeezing water out of rock. Uh, as we speak, there are lots of homes where you find confusion only because mommy or daddy cannot afford. You know, normally when Christmas of such, you find mommy and daddy at loggerhead because mommy want to actually impress the children, and but daddy doesn't have the capacity, and mommy too doesn't have. Perhaps mommy has the capacity. She actually have the money, but the money is not that sufficient, to provide for every one of the kids in the home. So because of that, you will see a little, noise in the homes. Mommy will have a faith frying up. But those are things. But we urge you all to celebrate this day, celebrate this day in peace, with happiness. Please take care of the children at home. Please keep your eyes on them. When there is a need that you can put on a television for them to watch, and do everything possible, to keep them happy, to keep them excited, to keep them elated, to keep them, in that kind of gratified mood. You can just definitely do them. So your safety tip also mattered. Their precautionary methods also mattered. So you can definitely help them. So for those of you who are the motorcyclists, the tricyclists, the keke riders, and the taxi drivers, and even the pedestrians who are walking along the roadside. If you ever see a little child crossing the road, and perhaps you feel that this child is afraid to cross the road, you too can be of help. You too can definitely be of help. Just help them, and let them cross the road. Help to cross them. You understand? Help to cross them. Remember, the life you save today could be the life of somebody you love so much. You understand? The life you save today could be the life of somebody you love so much. So let's go over to the very first line from the Daily Observer newspaper. The very first headlines from the Daily Observer newspaper. Liberia Revenue Authority Commissioner General is dead. Who is Liberia Revenue Commissioner General of Liberia Revenue Authority? He is Thomas Joe Nine. Now tenure at LRA saw several reforms that streamline tax administration, raising the bite of revenue collections from 400 million to 700 million, the highest in the country history in 2020. 2021. Thomas Doe Nine, the civil society icon who transitioned from his role as an anti-corruption activist to spearhead national revenue generation as Commissioner General of Liberia Revenue Authorities, smashing domestic revenue record, has passed away. That is a very, very terrible and heartbreaking news. Doe had a battle with stomach cancer and received treatment in India for a few months. In a statement, the LRA said it was deeply saddened to learn through family sources about the passing of the Commissioner General Thomas Doe Now, who had been on medical leave. Our heartfelt condolences extend to his wife, family, and loved ones. The executive management staff and employees of LRA joined together in offering prayers for the peaceful repose of Commissioner General Nang's soul. We mourn this irreparable loss and extend our heartfelt sympathy during this difficult time, the family added. Now Tenny at the LRA saw several reforms that streamlined tax administration, raising the bar of revenue collection from 400 million to 700 million, the highest in the country history since 2021. Between 2018 and 2021, his administration collected an aggregate domestic revenue of 1.594 billion, well above the 1.796 billion collected in the previous 4 years, 2014 to 2017. Colleagues, members, Nine as a visionary leader and a man of integrity, whose legacy extends beyond his public sector achievement, has as a champion of the anti-corruption measures. He joined LRA in 2018 as an experienced civil society actor and a financial sector professional who have worked and advocated for improved governance system in post-conflict Liberia. He was reappointed to his post by President Weah in 2022 after his first 4 years tenure came to an end. And now once worked as program lead at the Carter Center and executive director of for Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia, which he co-funded. Santai is now national chapter of Transparency International. He also worked in the economic and commercial section at the United States Embassy in Monrovia, contributing to the restitution of economic governance structures and institutions in post-war Liberia. He was actively involved in the impactful work of the Multi-Partner Governance Initiative Governance Economic Management Assistance Program and the establishment of the Liberia Extractive Industry Transparency Initiative, LERTI, emphasizing the necessity of a transparent and accountable regime in natural resources exploitation. As at the LRA, he pursued initiatives that made the tax authority people-centered with enhanced transparency, integrity, and professionalism in the collections of lawful revenues. Nine was a graduate of the University of Liberia, where he earned a Bachelor of Business Administration degree in accounting and economics and hold a Master's of Public Administration from the Kennedy School of Government at Harvard University. He was an avid tennis player and is survived by his wife with 3 children. Senator Yumble Kanga Lawrence, the woman who helped Boakai win. The Liberian people may have made Boakai president, but if Lawrence had poorly run his campaign in a disorganized manner, the president-elect could not be where he is at the moment. This may hold the rare gem that Boakai and the former ruling Unity Party, which was in alliance with other parties back to power. It is late October, and Senator Yumble Kanga Lawrence is feeling uneasy after President-elect Joseph Boakai lost the first round of the elections. The senator, as the chair of the Bouaka campaign, had declared for nearly 3 months, along with the rest of her campaign team members, that President-elect was going to win the elections in the first round. However, when October 10 elections results showed that Bouaka had narrowly lost to outgoing President Weah, she became apprehensive and for the first time feared the possibility of losing the elections. Armed with election data, the Grand Bassa County began hosting a series of internal briefings on Bouaka's pathway to winning the November 14 runoff after he had lost to Weah 44.83% to 43.44% during the first round. I have been a very male-dominant business for decades, and I have found out that there is plenty of room for passion, but there is very little room for emotion. So when we had to do the second round, even though we did not come first, I knew something was wrong somewhere, Lawrence told the Daily Observer in an exclusive interview. The election was an existential battle for the future of this country, so we needed to lead to make victory certain. We reviewed our strategy and formed the correct measures in place, which resulted in victory. Reviewing the election data, Lawrence, alongside with her team, zeroed in on a strategy that could capture the runoff from Weah, who had all the well-witted and was confident of winning. The senator, as part of her strategy, had to ignore the numerous complaints within the Unity Party alliance over Bouaka no-show at the campaign event in the 5 counties that make up the Southeast, as they voted in droves for President Weah, thereby propelling him to lead the first ballot. Her stubborn approach, grounded in data, was anchored on 2 pillars. First, reducing the vote margin of the incumbent presidential candidate in the 8 counties that he won, especially in Bong, Grand Bassa, 2 significant vote-rich counties, while simultaneously expanding the Bouaka lead in the 7 counties he won, especially Montserrado County, which holds the card to the presidency. But there was a catch. The time frame for the second campaign was short. Hence, she split the strategy into 2. First, work with the Bouaka to get the strategic support of other presidential candidates and leading stakeholders, and simultaneously strengthen Unity Party candidates and leading stakeholders, and simultaneously strengthen the Unity Party alliance to get out the vote, campaign to target and mobilize voters to increase the turnout for the runoff. Lawrence adopted the strategy after the election data showed that while Weah won the first ballot, half of 1.9 million people have voted out of a registered vote base of 2.5 or 2.4 million did not vote against the president, opting for Bouaka and several other opposition candidates. And it worked. Bouaka managed to gain the support of Lieutenant Camara and all Liberian People Party Councillor Tiawan Ganglo of the Liberian People's Party, Edward Appleton Grassroots Development Movement. These men joined the Bouaka campaign, having finished in the top 6 in the October 10, even though their share of the vote was very minimum, but significant, though enough to sway the runoff election. The key movement for Lawrence, however, came when she landed the runoff support of Amara Conan, senator-elect of Bapuru County, and a data enthusiast. Conan, who was then given the role to coordinate the Bouaka campaign, handled this task very well, working with Lawrence to set up a very sophisticated war room that enabled them to collect and analyze results in real time, allowing the Liberian people know the winner of the elections even before the official results were announced. The result was a historic win for Bouaka, making him the second presidential candidate in the history of Liberia to return a ruling a former ruling party to power since 1878, when former President Anthony W. Ganda did so with the two-way party. Wakao won the runoff with 50.64%. That is 814,481 votes to WIA 49.36%, representing 793,914 votes. The achievement comes a few weeks after he had lost the ballot by a narrow margin as a result of a slim lead in Montserrat, which has the country's largest share of the vote. Wia's defeat became historic, making him the first president in Liberia's 177 years of history to lose a re-election bid. His defeat came just 6 years after he had won Bouaka convincingly in the 2017 runoff, securing a decisive win with 61.5% to 38.5%. The dynamics, however, shifted in 2023, with Bouaka putting up a formidable fight in the first round when the winning runoff constantly pledging to rescue Liberia from what he described as a mismanagement and corruption under the Weah administration. When we look over, there are numerous challenges, but the most important ones were structures and finances. So the first thing I did to distinguish the political parties from the campaign team, especially when it comes to a political party that has a presidential candidate and the party that feels entitled to taking charge of the entire campaign, and you from another party join in there as a campaign chairperson who takes over the entire campaign. Secondly, raising money and getting things on track was a huge challenge that I had to overcome, especially when I came with nothing available to start the campaign with. The senator said. So whatever we needed to do, I just had to take the lead and demonstrate the commitment. So we succeeded. I think a lot of people believe in the stand, especially when it came to the fight of national interests. It became easy for me to navigate. While Bouaka win is history, it is the work of Lawrence, who had managed his campaign that was full of several challenges, including resources that propelled him to the presidency. Amazed though harsh criticism, the senator, who is at times 3 years, was the only female senator in Liberia, never capitulated to the complaint but stood firm and kept blameless on why relentlessly executing her run-up strategy and its work. Her focus on keeping the campaign's attention directed at the power broker county of Montserrat, Nimba, Lofa, Magibi, which Bouaka lost in 2017, with the exception of Lofa, meant the campaign did not pour more resources into a long shot counties, even when prominent supporters of Bouaka insisted that her campaign team was letting a huge prize slip away. Instead, she narrowed her focus on winning the overwhelming support of a vote who did not support Weah, as well as protecting their votes, which could leave limited room for only Titi. The focus paid off in the runoff as Bouaka campaign, beyond expectation, performed considerably in the southeast of Maryland, Grand Crew, Sino, River Cess, Grand Jida, and River D, which are the stronghold of the outgoing administration. The campaign also significantly slashed the Weah's campaign votes shared in populated counties of Grand Bassa County and Bone County, increasing their vote share compared to what they got in the first round. But all of this could have happened if Lawrence, as the campaign chair, did not have exhibited strong leadership to keep the Unity Party alliance tight with limited room for distraction. She did so by disciplining the campaign activity based on conventional campaigns to attract voters of all ages and appeal to their desire for change and a better Liberia. The first round, I always preached one round. And everywhere I went on the campaign trail, Our goal was to win one round. We have financial challenges and all of that, but Liberians were committed to rescue missions in many ways, Lawrence said. When we had to do the second round, I feel that we did very well to reach the second round, even though we did not win. So we came up with a strategy for the first round to maximize the vote in the Southeast, to control places and increase vote in places that we did have more votes, and stronghold that we did not pay a lot of attention to. So the target was that least we should increase the vote by another 5,000 in the Southeast, which we did. So when we saw all of those coming into play quietly, we knew that we were going to win the elections. Lawrence groundbreaking achievement at the first women in Africa to run a winning presidential campaign post Hall in the league of a very few women who had achieved such a feat around the world. Notably, she joins the likes of Kalayini Konyan, who became the first woman in the US to run a winning Republican presidential campaign, and Jen Onila Dillon, who led presidential Biden to victory. Dillon then became the first woman to run a winning Democratic presidential campaign 4 years after Conway's record-breaking achievement. The senator now sits as a riot-fed companies alongside historic record breakers like former Liberian President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, who was the first elected female president in Africa, Liberia's Angie Brooks Randolph, the woman to chair the UN General Assembly. Her achievement, which is no far feat for women in Liberia and Africa, is the most transformative thing that has happened to Liberia, especially at a time when women are still struggling politically, despite the countries having produced a female president. And so she is the Daily Observer Person of the Year for undoubtedly shaping the future of women's participations in politics and leadership. The Daily Observer uses the Person of the Year award to profile a person, a group of persons, or an institution that has made a significant impact on the country and its people on a national scale. For 2023, it's Kanga Lawrence who found a way to transcend boundaries and be a source of light for women who constitute the largest share of the Liberian population. The Liberian people have made Waka president, but if Senator Hapole run his campaign in a disorganized manner, the president-elect would not be where he is at the moment. This made her a rare gem that brought Waka and the former ruling Unity Party, which was in alliance with other parties, back to power. In the 10 years plus, her debut. So with this being said, this is how we were zeroed on this particular development, and we would definitely zero on this particular development and move quickly over to the front page Africa newspaper, where we have very interesting news this morning. Very, very interesting news. President Weah names state-of-the-art sports park and recreation park Liberia unification. President George Weah has dedicated and commissioned a state-of-the-art sports and recreation park on the beach side of the PHP community, one of the slum communities in Monrovia, Liberia's capital city. The state-of-the-art sport and recreation park is named Liberia Unification Sport Park and is one of the largest sporting and recreation centers in the West African region. The dedication ceremony was attended by former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and numerous past and present government officials. Speaking during the dedication ceremony, the president praised Chokon Ekwi, the Minister of State without portfolio, and the contractors for the significant work done. President Weah added, a little boy who once lived with his cousin in the PHP community has once again realized his dream and aspiration for the well-being of his fellow Liberians, and I am so proud to be here to dedicate and commission this historic project for the Liberian people, the Blues Quarter, and the PHP community. He continued, this multi-purpose park will be named the Liberia Unification Park. It will be a representation of how far we have come as a nation in the promotions of peace, and should serve as a reminder to all Liberians to continue fostering unity in the interest of Mama Liberia, and to work collaboratively for our collective good. The blueprint from Senegal. President Weah, after his inauguration in 2018, made his first visit to Senegal on February 14, 2018. There in Senegal, President Weah says he was amazed after seeing an outdoor gym on the shore of Senegal capital city Dakar. During the first official visit to Senegal in 2018, I was inspired by an outdoor gym of the offshore of Dakar where people can gather for sports and socialize. The scene left an imprint in my mind to create something similar for Liberia. Project sponsored by Abdul Dahab Development Fund. After getting the blueprint from Senegal, the issues about funding was a very serious challenge for his government, President Weah says. However, the Liberian leader says that he took the idea to one of his friends during his footballing days in the United Arab Emirates, who is now the leader of the UAE, Sheikh Mohammed Banzi and Mind Hans. The concept was quickly developed and presented to my friend and big brother Sheikh Mohammed Ban Azanzin, the ruler of the United Arab Emirates. We have said he added a 25 million was given by the UAE government through the Abu Dahab Development Fund. To my friend and big brother, I want to say from the UAE, I would like to say a special thanks to you for your development initiative under my leadership, he noted. The park should serve as a reconciliation and unity. At one end of the park lies 4 pillars with a pole signifying the 13 former government officials of the Willem Arab Toba regime who were executed by the late President Samuel Doe for the coup d'etat in 1980. A flag was hosted in honor of the 13 former government officials who were executed underground. President, we are still speaking. The occasion of this park holds a dark memory in our history. On this very ground, 13 senior government officials were publicly executed during the 1980 military coup while on locust chair. I pray that this facility not only erases the gloomy period, but also serves as a testament to reconciliation and unity in a country divided alongside so many lines. The Liberian continues. The Liberian leader continues. I hope that the Liberian unification will always remind us that we are stronger together. He further states, ladies and gentlemen, please take care of this place. This place belongs to you and it is for you. Use it wisely. I have the singular honor to say the park is open for public use. With this being said, this is how we transition to another headline. Press Union of Liberia expresses dismay over Supreme Court ruling, but says it respects the court decision. The Press Union of Liberia has acknowledged the Supreme Court's recent ruling, which reserved Chief Justice Joseph Nangbe to honor a stay order on the inaugurations of elected leader of the union. The court's highest verdict stated that Justice Nangbe, while in chamber, did not remand the PEF leadership conflict request back of the 9th Judicial Circuit Court in Banga. The highest court stressed that Justice Nangwe's decision to approve the induction of the elected leaders of the Presidium violated the judicial law of the Republic of Liberia. However, the Presidium is bewildered by the High Court's reliance on an inferior law, the judicial law of Liberia, disregarding other weighty statutes pivotal to ensuring a comprehensive resolution of the case. The union acknowledges and respects the Supreme Court's ruling, committing to follow all prescribed steps. This includes transmitting the Supreme Court's ruling to the Ninth Judicial Circuit to initiate the resumption of jurisdictions over the case. Simultaneously, the Press Union of Liberia is refuting public misinformation regarding things Kanumba alleged victory in the leadership for-hour contest. The union highlights the winning as an interrogatory motions before the full bench does not equate to winning a suit whose merits have not been heard. The union affirms its commitment to facilitate the case resumptions in Banga, Bon County, emphasizing the scrutiny over every motion filed before the court, which could possibly see a return to the Supreme Court of Liberia. The reversal of Chief Justice Nangwe's decision stemmed from a case, Julius K. Kanumba versus Press Union of Liberia Leadership Membership Congress and Elections Committee. Then Kanumba had accused the Press Union Leadership Congress and Elections Committee of tampering with the voters' roll on allegations of vehemently denied by the PEL leadership on baseless and in at tarnishing the union's reputation for selfish motive. Tim Kanumba, prior to the PEL's elections, engaged in a campaign to blaspheme the union's reputation with an unproven accusations. They accused the PEL's membership committee of adding 27 individuals to the voters' roll after the accreditation process, only to later discover that most listed individuals were their supporters. Despite this, Tim Kanumba shamelessly agreed to include the list on the voter roll and requested 2 days to present a detailed complaint, which was granted. In an attempt to solve a confusion, Tim Julius then lodged a complaint against the alternative youth radio, claiming its journalists were ineligible for PEL's membership. Instead of participating in a hearing, Tim Kanumba proposed an independent committee headed by the National Civil Society Council of Liberia to clean the voter roll, a proposal rejected by the Congress and Elections Committee. Subsequently, they were asked to attend a voter roll cleanup, but Tim Kanumba failed to appear. Further events unfolded with Tim Kanumba conducting press conferences, spreading misinformation about the union's democratic credential. The Congress in Banga ended with an injunction by Julius K. Kanumba in support of which was later lifted by the Ninth Judicial Circuit Court after legal representation by the Press Union of Liberia. Tim Kanumba then sought a stay order on the inauguration of PEL officer, initially withdrawing the writ of declaratory judgment before amending it. The judge, interestingly, approved the stay order which Justice Joseph Nangwe annulled. Justice Joseph Nangwe annulment of the stay order has now been reserved in a strange manner by the High Court. This is how we move over to another headlines. As hunger looms, bombing County Prison Superintendent right prominent citizens for support, says no supply from headquarters for 5 months. Prisoners in Toppenbridge Central Prisons in Bonny County are facing acute food shortage and may likely have nothing to feed on if the government or other well-meaning citizens and philanthropists do not go to their aid. The dire situation at the prison facility had forced the prison superintendent Jeremy Doe to write prominent individuals of Bonny County to assist with food and cash to prevent the inmates from starving, especially during this festive season. in this listed in this festive season. Sorry, in this festive season, we are undergoing an acute shortage of prison substance fund to cater to the soup and other needs of the inmate and facility. In fact, we haven't received funds from our headquarters to feed the inmate for almost 5 months, and the rest supply in stock is running out. Our facility is currently running on credit, which increases on a daily basis. Mr. Doe stated in a communication to a prominent member of the county. The communication continued. In this light, sir and madam, we earnestly solicit your assistance in cash or kind to facilitate our handling of the constraint earlier mentioned. We would appreciate where you could contact us through the cell phone number below to present whatever is available. We shall also be making follow-up in the scene endeavor. When contacted for further clarity on the situation at the prison, Superintendent Doe declined to comment. However, over the past few months, there have been reports of food shortage from 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 several prison facilities across the country, including Montserrat Central Prison, Ganta Central Prison, and Banga Central Prison. In November, authorities at the Monrovia Central Prison expressed concern that there have been a mass jailbreak due to hunger as the facility were faced with food shortage. Front Page Africa has gathered from sources within the facility that during the afternoon hours of Monday, November 2023, prison authorities were constrained to staff inmates from many blocks due to the shortage of ration. Meal was only provided to the female juvenile and sick bay at the prison compound out of hundreds of others to go to bed on empty stomach. Front Page Africa guided. The prison facility in Bangabong County experienced similar shortage in August when the facility, which was designed to hold 180 inmates, were hosting 230 instead of said amount. The food we eat was not fit for dogs, said an inmate who requested not to be identified. An inmate told Front Page Africa at the time. They gave us water a day and it is not regular. Many of us try to find other ways of feeding ourselves because the food is just tasteless. We are dying slowly from hunger. We have nothing to wash our toilets. All we use is ice to try and reduce the smell. I have not spent 2 weeks here without having one infection, or the other. He added. We do various labors in the prison to make ends meet, but you cannot survive. We cannot survive here unless you have someone from outside who attends to you every week. The United Nations standard minimum requirements state that prisoners should receive food that is nutritious and well prepared. The rules also state that prisoners should have access to drinking water whenever they need it. The Nelson Mandela rule states that the state is responsible for providing health care to prisoners. The rule also states that the relationship between the healthcare professional and prisoner could be governed by the same ethical and professional ethics as though applicable to patients in the community. With this being said, this is how we would love to close down on all of our news presentation of today. We are very sorry. We are actually observing the festive season, so a lot of the media organizations too are actually observing the festive season, so we don't have much of these newspapers like we normally provide to you. But we are hoping that tomorrow there will be a lot of new development. Many of the newspapers will definitely flag the issues about Joseph Boakai arrival. We saw a lot of videos about his arrivals in country yesterday from the United States after having multiple interactions with well-meaning government officials of the U.S. governments and high-ranking personalities in the U.S. governments, and he also went to congratulate the people who have been very supportive to his campaign processes. We know how Joseph Blackard, much of the resources he gathered during the course of the campaign activity came from those people who, those Liberians who are residing in the United States of America. You understand? So we will definitely be here to acquaint you with all of the major happenings. So we want to say it again. Merry Christmas to all of you who are actually celebrating the Christmas worldwide. We want to say Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. We want to say keep safe. Christmas, as I said earlier Christmas is a time to give. It's a time to celebrate. It is a time to share. It is a time to be benevolent. It is a time to be generous. It is a time to be kind to other people. You understand? So it is important that we all try to share. You understand? Share. So my name is K. Lyndon Toba. Do have a wonderful Merry Christmas. Thank you. Bye bye from my end.